right, I gotta do this story. Look at my cookie pillow behind my head. I'm still sick. I don't know if you can catch the vid, if you know what I'm talking about, through the phone, but my son was sick for 2 weeks and then I got it. And it is horrendous, let me just say that. I'm going to take myself to the doctor tomorrow for sure because I don't seem to be getting better. But anywho, Rainn Wilson from The Office, he just made a little short about how giving back, giving your time, volunteering, etc. of yourself, giving of yourself is the best therapy. And so it reminded me that I forgot to do the story on my channel. And we're in a loneliness epidemic. I'm not lonely. I have people bothering me all the time. But anyways, a lot of people aren't comfortable with themselves. They don't want to be by themselves too much. And it's okay to be by yourself and reflect. But there are people that they're unable to reach out to people because we just don't have the community that we used to have. A lot of things have fallen apart. Less people are going to church. Less people are involved with their community. So we just don't have that sense of togetherness that we had once before. And a lot of people got too comfortable with themselves. They're happy to be on their phones and having me time and doing self-care. But part of self-care is giving of yourself. And I always tell people that are in that weird spot in their life where they're not going out as they used to. You know, you get older, you're not going to play team sports or going to clubs or parties and things like that. It's a different, you got to navigate your life differently. And helping and volunteering is one of the ways that you can get back out there. Real life experience, none of this online stuff. And I know that online works for a lot of people. They're more comfortable that way. But having interactions in person in real life are a big thing. And yeah, so I tell people, you know, just go volunteer. If you're home on Saturdays, you're not working, and you don't like being by yourself, you don't have yard work to do or whatever, go volunteer somewhere. Or help someone. Just call a friend. Is there anything you need help with? You want me to come over and help you tackle that closet that you haven't, you know, gotten into? Anything. There's so many things. There's so many people out there, especially seniors, that need help. So anyways, a long time ago, not too long ago, I had a neighbor who has since moved, and I don't know what has happened to him and his wife. I lost connection with them, so I don't know if they're still with us or if they're in a nursing home somewhere or what. I didn't know what that was. Sorry, guys. But they were, the wife kind of kept to herself, but the husband was always trying to talk to people, and he drove cab till he might even still been driving cab after they moved. He was driving cab till he was 82 years old. I think there was a period, I can't remember, where he retired and then he started back up, but he was driving a cab, 82 years old, you know, still getting up. And anyways, I had a lot going on at the time. I was taking care of a number of relatives. I was feeding people on my porch, literally bringing out meals on my porch so people could eat. I was so caught up in the world and life, and just kind of blocking the punches as they were coming my way. I wasn't really concerned with other people and other stuff. I wasn't focused on it at all. I was just in survival mode. And I was feeding other kids in the house, and yeah, just a lot going on. And anyways, my neighbor, he would come over all the time, and he'd bring me bread. I'd come home, and in between the screen door and the main door would be like 15 loaves of bread, in which we all used. We were able to use it all up. Some I'd put in the freezer, but we all put it to use. And he would go to the grocery store. His buddy worked there, and he would get like the bread that they didn't sell, or the bread that they had no room to stock. It was all fresh, and it was all the really good seed breads that were, you know, better for you anyways, essentially. Yeah, so I'd come home and he'd have all those loaves in between the door, and he'd come over all the time with cookies and cakes for the kids. And he'd say, I had a meeting today, so I thought the kids would enjoy all the treats and stuff we had left over from the night, from the meeting. And like I said, I'm in my own world. I'm just in survival mode. And I didn't clue in. I'd think to myself, well, was a cab driver? What kind of meetings do cab drivers have? I mean, I know they have safety meetings and things like that, but not on the rate he was coming over with these treats and things and saying, here you go, this is from my meeting. But I'm so into myself at this point in time, or so into other people, I don't understand what's going on with him. So yeah, he was just an all-around nice person, good neighbor, good person, and very generous with all this stuff that he's bringing over for all the kids in the neighborhood and everything, and everybody to eat. And I just always took note of that, and I said, I'm very grateful, like, especially with the bread. I could make bread pudding and stuffing and all that stuff, and it never went to waste. I was very grateful. At the time, I was very grateful, and I thanked him, but it didn't really resonate. It didn't really register yet what was going on at the time. And so they sold their house, they moved, other neighbors or other people moved in, and I was talking to someone that had worked with him, and he asked me, oh, you know him, you live here, you know him? And I said, yeah. He used to bring me over bread and treats for the kids and da-da-da. And he said, yeah, well, he was an alcoholic, and he was going to AA meetings. And I'm laughing, it's so funny. But I went, ding, 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 the bell went off in my head. Oh, that's what the meetings were. And I said to the guy, I said, he was bringing all the kids the treats after, and drinks and everything after the meetings, all the leftover stuff. But it didn't occur to me that he was bringing the stuff from those types of meetings. He was obviously not drinking. He was nice and polite, and I never thought that he would have had any sort of mental health or addiction issues. You know what I mean? Whatever that's supposed to look like, He wasn't the poster child for any of those things. He just seemed like a well-adjusted man. But apparently he had been sober for over 20 years, and he just loved to help people. And I just happened to be one of those people whose family he helped. And if I seen him today, or if I ever heard about him again, I would just reiterate I already knew he was an amazing person, but it resonated with me. That's why he was always going out of his way to help, because that was part of his healing. And not only that, he wanted to do it because it's making him feel good. And it really did. It truly, I hope the blessings did come back to him, because he really did bless my family. We had a lot of people to feed, and we in turn were helping other people. We've always had people watching out for us, but we've fed a lot of people over the years, and I really felt very grateful. And I'll always think of him around Christmas time, because I remember in particular he came over and brought these Christmas cookies, with the red and the green crystal sprinkles on them. They're all glittery. And I always remember him. Every Christmas I remember him bringing over that tray of Christmas treats. And so, yeah, don't think, sometimes in the this rat race of life we got going on, sometimes the little things that you're doing, you might think, oh, those people don't appreciate it. I'm doing my good, but they don't really care. They're just, whatever, the bread or whatever. But don't think that your works went underappreciated, or that we weren't grateful, because we were. And even knowing where he was coming from after all this just solidified the memory of him anyways. So anyways, again, be good and try to help people do what you can do out there in this wacky world of ours. But yeah, and just take time to reflect on those people that maybe, like I said, with everything going on, you didn't get to thank them enough, but maybe they didn't need for you to thank them, because they knew that one day when things had settled down, you would remember and in turn, maybe start doing the same good for other people. Good night. Bye.